I want to tell you a story. A story about a heroic amplifier, the name of which is called the Trainwreck. Some of you may know it as the second most valuable amplifier in the world, right next to Dumble. And in my personal experience, while traversing the vastness of the Axe-FX amp modeling library, I stumbled past, through, and across the Trainwreck amplifier for over 3 years and ignored it because the initial impression just was not there for me. 3 years of ignoring an incredible amplifier model simply because I did not give it the time of day. This is where the story really takes a turn though, because like in any story, the hero really shines in the particulars when put into a situation where they can really pull through and exceed all of our expectations. This is the story of the Trainwreck. Now, this is just the clean tones that I'm getting from this model. Later on in the video, I'll show you all the crunchy, growly madness that you can get with this preset. I've really set it up to get super high dynamics and touch and feel responsiveness. But you'll see that later. Yeah, how you like that butter. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the madness. Today we're going to be really deep diving into the amplifier called the Trainwreck Rocket. This amplifier has exceeded my expectations after giving it some real tender love and care in the Axe-FX library and just tinkering with the parameters and really exploring what it can do when you really put a little bit of time and effort into it. It's funny, this preset at first glance isn't going to look entirely too complicated, but the devil is in the details, right? So let's go ahead and get right into this, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by this thing has just incredible tone and all at the control of your volume pot. Outstanding. And this is where things really get interesting. Let me grab my guitar. So here we are, and we've got this amazing amplifier that is controlled almost entirely by this knob right here. Right now, my volume pot is set to 4.5 out of 10, right? So, and it's got these clean, shimmery, brilliant cleans. And then, of course, it sounds pretty goddamn nice, especially for R&B and neo-soul, which I'm really kind of into right now. So you turn it up just a bit, and you start getting this growly crunch. And now it's at 10. And so you end up just getting so much more out of it. And that's just without any gain or drive associated with it at all thus far. Let's go ahead and add some. And of course, my volume pot is still at 5. Just mind you that. phenomenal. I just can't imagine having much better of a just like almost buzzy tone, but it's so clean. So let's go ahead and go up another notch. Give it a little bit of delay. Add some of them shiver vibes, right? Go ahead and take a detour through some of the switches on the guitar. Neck pickup. Turn up the volume. The sustain is out of control. All right, right back down to the cleans. So now you've got a good idea of what you can get out of it. It's got so much tonal variation. I mean, just based on giving it a little bit of extra gain through another drive block, changing your volume pot, changing your tone knobs, affecting your touch, just how hard you're plucking these strings. It's so dynamic. And if that didn't give you an idea of how dynamic it is, I don't know what else to tell you. It's just crazy. I'm going to end up putting this preset up on Axe Change, and you can download it, use it, check it out, modify it to like really kind of make your guitar sing in the same way. But this thing is bonkers. I'm really, really impressed by how good this model is. So let's go ahead and go through and show you some more about what I've done here to create this tone. So obviously you see the record rocket. It's got the gain set to 6.4. You can kind of take a look at these, but you don't really need to know. Notice one thing though is that the level is at 10 dB. It's pretty quite high, and that's because I want my cleans to be incredibly obvious and shimmery, and they've got good volume without me having to add much gain. That means my noise floor is incredibly low before adding anything. So you can hear there's like nothing there. It's dead quiet. But you can hear the noise floor is incredibly quiet. Amazing. All right, let's move on to the cab. You can go ahead and dive deep into these further if you download the preset on Axe Change. So in the cab, I've got four 4x12s going on here, same time, in stereo. It's pretty awesome sounding. And then inside the room and air, I've got some air going through here, and the room level's actually increased a bit. So you get some of that, amp in the room sound, so so they say. And then a filter for the fourth scene. And then the drive is a clone Chiron. Love that thing. Treble's up, gain is down, and the mix is set down to 40% because otherwise it's way too intense for me. That's just my personal opinion in this. So, do what you like, but I think that this is a pretty good choice. And then I've changed the diode types as well. So notice that there are BAT41s and blue LED, 2 of each. That's a real thing, and the bias is set to 1.194. I got a delay. I got a deluxe mine guy at 500 milliseconds, and the echo pan is on an LFO, which is showing right here at 0.205. So, or I think this one actually might be the 0.5. I can't remember. Let's see. Yeah, so it's the 0.205. So this is going really quite slow. And then the reverb is a medium hall, and it's pretty standard. 2 seconds of reverb going on this thing, and then finally a looper. And that is really it. But that's what I've got for you about the Trainwreck. If you want, you can look up more on the Trainwreck forums to find out more about what this thing's dealing with. I know that the standard cabinets within this thing were Celestians, and that is why I'm using this particular cabinet. The Brit PR75s use the Celestian GMs, and I believe GM5, I can't remember exactly what the model name is, but that's what they're using in here. and I've decided that I wanted to use all of the different microphones. So that's just what I did, and I think it sounds quite nice. So hope you got something out of this. If you did, like and subscribe, and you can get more of this type of stuff in the future. I'm really going to try to become like a forward kind of thinking experimenter as far as creating new presets and trying to, kind of expand what people have not yet quite done yet. Giving some good sounds and some sounds that I really truly believe you could use in pretty much any environment. Live settings, this thing sounds unbelievable. So I'm going to keep on deep diving, giving you some great new ideas, some examples of great tones. And mind you, I know I could be using the presets that like Axe Effects has already provided to us, right? Axe has provided us with like 300, 400 presets that you can just kind of go in, grab something you like, and modify it to what you really like. I'm doing these from straight up scratch via research and documentation and making my own decisions that I would use based on building an amplifier of my own. Because I'm not sure how many of you know, but I am an electrical engineer, and I do build amplifiers for RFs, for RF environments, and for audio environments. That's my job, and so I know what these variables are. Like when you go into a drive and you see these types of things, like a diode type, I've actually used these, and so it makes it easier for me to get an idea of what something is going to sound like before I go and make a decision. It's not a random guess for me, I guess you could say. Same with the power tubes and the cathode follower. Like I've literally held these things in my hands. I've done the circuit analysis and the transient responses that you can get from them. It's nice to see that the Axe Effects has so much of this available to us, because it allows a tinkerer and an engineer like me to really go in and really get a good feel for something, knowing that they put an incredible amount of effort in giving this environment to us. So stick with me. I think we'll learn a lot together, and I think you'll get a lot out of this channel in the future. So until the next time, I'll catch you all on the flippy floppy, y'all. Ciao for now.